Hey, Kevin Belzer here with Dad's Rules. Because today's episode is a little sensitive and the language is quite harsh through the episode, I figured I'd do a disclaimer. So if you would prefer just to move on to one of our previous episodes or a future episode of Dad's Rules, no harm, no foul, totally understand it. Welcome to another episode of Dad's Rules with Kevin Belzer. I'm joined by Melissa Belzer.
Hello.
We're actually going to skip the rotation. We have episodes in the can, but I honestly feel like we would be remiss if we don't cover what has happened this past week. Anybody who's been following our show for the last 210 plus episodes knows that I don't really ever get political on here. That's never been the point of the show at all. I just kind of try to keep it light, give people a break from the world for 15 to 30 minutes, and that's about it.
Break from heavy.
Yeah. But this week I feel that we have to address the big issue that's happened, and that's the assassination of Charlie Kirk. That happened on Wednesday, 9/10/2025. Now we're two days past that right now. They have caught the shooter at this point. It ended up being a 22-year-old kid that people are trying to mislabel. The guy is he's a freaking terrorist. There's no other way about it. Decided that he wanted to take a man out because he didn't agree with his viewpoint.
Yeah, I get that.
I don't think any of us get it. Anybody with a brain doesn't get it. We've seen the fallout the last 2 days of those that think it's funny, have posted that he deserved it. We've seen those people rightfully be losing their jobs, losing their contracts, if they're self-employed, and getting what they rightfully deserve, which is canceled by society. Because the moment that we decide that it's okay to laugh at somebody for being killed over their beliefs, we take that as acceptable. We've lost it as a country.
That's not acceptable at all. No matter what. No matter what, there's no reason that something like that should occur for any reason. Have a conversation.
We haven't had somebody like Charlie Kirk probably since MLK. From the standpoint of he was one that believed that you talked, you worked through things in a nonviolent way. You had dialect.
Dialogue, yeah.
Yeah, you had dialogue going back and forth, and you don't agree, then you just agree to not agree.
You agree to disagree and you move on.
At no point does it make sense to go, well, I don't like their viewpoint so much that I'm going to shoot them
and take them out.
Charlie Kirk was 31 years old and had a wife, had 2 kids. They're never gonna get to see their dad grow up.
That's what bothers me above all. In that way, with babies, that woman doesn't have her husband. Like, what is that? What is that?
It is absolutely disgusting that as a society we have people that cheered it, that said he had it coming, that he's the first of many, and for them to think that that's okay? Really? This is what we come to because you politically disagree with this guy, and the terms that they threw out at him are just absolutely ridiculous. They say he's a racist, yet there's not a single thing that they can point to that was a racist comment. They say he's transphobic, yet he would have dialogue with them and talk to them about it was never cruel. It's like I've watched so many videos of Prove Me Wrong that he did with people to where all he said to him is he goes, okay, well, explain to me why
You feel that way.
you feel that way, no matter what the topic was.
Yeah.
He goes, change my mind. That's where that famous change my mind table comes from. Is that?
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, if you yelling and screaming at people and calling them names, calling them racist, calling them homophobes, calling them whatever, is just so fucking asinine. And how does that solve anything? If you really want someone to come around to your viewpoint or just hear your viewpoint and have respect and walk away from each other at the end, then you have to have calm, rational conversations, which is exactly what he did.
Yes.
I challenge you to go online, watch his videos. If you don't agree with my viewpoints, I don't really care. I've said it before. I said it in my post this week that I'm pretty much done being quiet about a lot of this because it woke us up. It woke a lot of us up that Charlie died for his beliefs. He was a strong Christian man. He spoke at every single rally about Jesus Christ being his Lord and Savior, about the importance of having Jesus in your life. And he was never shy about it.
No.
I saw one the other day to where a guy asked him about the Bible, and he goes, well, how do you know it's true? And he goes, well, I've got several different angles to go at this from to prove that the Bible is true. Archaeological standpoint, the fact of how many different authors there were on it, no mistakes. And he just kept going on and on about different ways that it's true. And he was a strong man of faith and conviction. Yet people go, oh, I hated him. Oh, you hate someone that believed in peace and speaking to people in regular conversation, not yelling and screaming and calling each other names. Yet somehow he's someone to hate. How would... What the fuck is wrong with this world? In what world does that make sense?
I don't know, I just feel like you're starting to open up conversation and just to shut it to think they're shutting it down like that. I don't think they realize what they've done now. Well, the shooter, has done now.
They woke up a lot of people.
Anything, some other people are rethinking some things. Rethinking a lot of things because of that whole situation.
In the past 2 days, I've seen people post about how they're looking more into the Bible. They're looking more into Christianity. There's people that have publicly come online, and young people come online and say, what the hell is this? What party am I a part of? And you got a bunch of fucking morons out there trying to say that this is some right-leaning guy. It's not. By the way, the guy that they grabbed, he was all about Antifa. That's not a right-side organization. But anyway, you have all these people coming online and saying that I'm leaving this party. I'm leaving the Democrat Party. This is not the party I thought I was a part of. This is not part of my beliefs. Some of them going, it is one thing to disagree with someone. It's a totally another thing for us to go out there and shoot them dead and cheer about it.
You shouldn't be cheering. You should not be cheering someone's death like that, like a murder. You should not be you're cheering a murder. You don't cheer a murder. It doesn't matter who it is.
No. And if you're one of those people that believes that this was all right, there's something very wrong with you.
You need to reevaluate yourself.
And you will have your coming to Jesus moment. May not be on this planet, may not be in this life, maybe when you die and he's standing before you, checking out to see if your name is in the book of life, and guess what? It's not. Those are not Jesus stances right there. To go out and just kill people.
Jesus tells us we should love our neighbor as thyself. It teaches us how to be better friends, better parents, better spouses, better people. And I have a hard time believing why some people are so opposed to that. Why would you not want to learn all those things? It is so much easier to be kind and to be helpful and to, do what you can and shine a light in a dark room. None of those things are bad. And so for someone to just do something like this is so dark. And God always, and everybody's, the people that ask, why do bad things happen to good people? Bad things are going to happen to good people regardless, because we have free will. And what the thing is like, we can't control the free will. But what we can do is ask God to walk us through the challenges when the challenges do come, and provide a light in that, and just say, God, how can you make good from that? So yeah, bad things are going to happen, but you can always look up, you can always turn to God and just go, how can you make some good from this? So I don't know how, some good's going to come from this. It's pretty horrific, but some good is still, some bad's going to turn to good. Ashes to beauty.
Charlie Kirk was already waking up America. He was waking up the campuses with his talks with the youth. He was directly responsible for a lot of people going out and voting for the first time and feeling like they had a voice in what was going on in our government, because our government's been off track for a long freaking time. But they felt like they had a voice. They went out there and they cast their vote for Donald Trump. Charlie Kirk was personally driven to speak to the college kids and hear them.
Somebody needed to do that.
Yeah, whereas everybody else was just poking at the kids, yelling at the kids, or dismissing the kids, he said, you know what? I'm going to go right into the lion's den and I'm going to talk to them. And I'm going to see if I can change hearts and minds. And he did.
Yeah.
And there are people that have posted that did not personally believe in the same political beliefs as Charlie did, that have come online and said, I didn't believe in what he had to say. However, I'm glad that he listened to me and he gave me an opportunity to talk.
See? And that's normal and rational. He still could go, I disagree with him, but I was heard.
Just like every generation, the youth just wants to know they're heard. And that's what he did. And I personally believe that this was a direct attack from Satan, that this was all part of his plan to go, hey, I'm going to silence somebody that's raising up a generation and making them look at Christianity and making them look at outside of the evil that is out there. I mean, there's a lot of evil around our campuses of things that can't scientifically be proven and that morally just make zero sense whatsoever. And he was a voice that was strong in that. There's no doubt in my mind that if he'd wanted to down the line, he probably would have been president of the United States. When he died, he was only 31. You can't run for president until you're 35. Only 31 freaking years. And how many of us can say that we did the amount of things in our life that he did in 31 short years? He found a turning point when he was 18 years old. 13 freaking years ago, he founded that company, based right out of our town, Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah. Just, I don't think I really have anything more to say, honestly. Just do better and be better.
Yeah, and just carry on Charlie's mission. That's all you can do. The devil may have tried to silence him, and yeah, ultimately he did silence him, but he woke a lot of freaking people up.
We've got more voices.
A lot of what's going on in the world is white noise. And what Charlie said, and he said this multiple times, he goes, I want to be known, I want to be remembered for my faith. And he was.
He will be.
He was remembered for that.
Yeah.
And so it's our job to carry that on. Because when you're born, when you're put on this planet, your first thing that you're supposed to do is you're supposed to find Jesus Christ. The second thing you're supposed to do is to share Jesus with others. Everything else on this planet is white noise. All of it. This is all about a faith walk. This is all a test of all of us. Yes, we have free will to choose whatever we want. But ultimately, that's all we're here for, is that. To find Jesus and to lead others to Jesus. And ultimately, that's what Charlie was doing. And he led a lot of people to Jesus.
Amen.
We're going to wrap it up here. I've got more, but I can't. I just can't. It's too fresh. If you like the show, like, share, leave feedback. Until next time, go out and be the kick-ass adult I know you all can be. Well, as I mentioned prior to the episode starting, this was going to be a very raw, very emotional episode. As you can see, I was very flustered throughout. I'm sure I said a lot of things that, well, it's off the cuff. It's how I felt. It's still how I feel. Now tomorrow will be 1 week since Charlie was assassinated. What I wanted to do is I've been scrolling through Facebook, Instagram, all the different socials, and just finding different articles, different commentary from people out there about their thoughts of what went down. And what I wanted to do before we put a bow on this episode is I want to read some of the comments that I found across the internet. So I'm going to have my handy dandy little iPhone here to pull these up. Okay, this was posted on the Conservative Twins page. A South Carolina lawyer just revealed he's been flooded with calls from liberals fired for celebrating Charlie Kirk's assassination online. Here's what he told them, and it's worth reading every word. The amount of calls that we have received, I think it's about 6 now, calls that were received from individuals who are specifically saying, I want to make sure I get this right. I have been terminated. I have been put on suspension by my job for things that I have said on my private social media account. It's kind of funny how they word that. First of all, I want you to think about those things. Private social media. They do not go hand in hand together. But a lot of comments that we're getting specifically are about the unfortunate death of Charlie Kirk. Why do I say unfortunate? Because I don't care who you are as a human being. You should not root for another human being's life to be taken, whether you agree with their political views. I'm old enough to remember the whole phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but names will never hurt me. I think we have forgotten that as a society. And if we get to the point where we're simply to the point that if somebody says something that we think they deserve to die, there's a bit of me that actually believes that Mr. Kirk, whether I agree or disagree with his views, the fact he was willing to engage in a logical debate, and by the way, that is what we do as attorneys, that if we have differing views with our opposing sides, it's basically an intellectual debate. You should not lose your life for engaging in intellectual debate with anybody. And there's a bit of me that believes that I don't know if he actually believes half of the shit that he was actually saying, because some of it is just rage baiting to get encouragement. This is this lawyer's opinion. By the same definition, are we going to start saying that we have a problem with Leonardo DiCaprio for playing a racist in a movie, even though he was acting? Anyway, what's ending up happening is people are forgetting about the First Amendment of the United States Constitution. They're saying, hey, Mr. Kent, I have freedom of speech. I should be allowed to say anything I want at work on my private social media account. Again, no such thing. Stop saying this is private. One, it is private. It is not private because you're posting it. Social, by definition, is social and media. Come on. But what I encourage people and what I tell them is your employer, especially in South Carolina where this lawyer is located, South Carolina is a right to work state. What does that mean? That means your employer can say, you know what? Get the fuck out of here. We're not going to listen to this discourse. You cannot post this stuff on the page. Some individuals have come to us basically, some individuals have come to us and basically, let's say they're a teacher. They are a teacher and they are saying that, you know what? My school district has suspended me because I said Charlie Kirk, he deserved to die. You're teaching our kids, or you work for an elected official and you want to put political things on your post, and your elected officials say, nah, bro, you don't work here. South Carolina is a right to work state. Number two, we talk about freedom of speech. You have the right to say whatever the hell you want, but people tend to forget
You can say what you want. Our government is not going to arrest you for saying what you want. We're not going to kill you for saying what you want. However, big however, your employer has the right to terminate you. There are two different things. People get confused on freedom of speech and freedom of consequences. There are consequences to our actions. So when we get those calls and people ask us, can I file a lawsuit because my employer terminated me because of the stuff that I put on my private social media account? At least in South Carolina, my response is they can terminate you for anything they want to. As a matter of fact, a lot of times when employers contact me and say, how should I terminate an employee? I say, don't give them a damn reason. You work at sometimes the sheriff says, you work at the will and discretion of the sheriff. Don't give them a damn reason. There's a famous quote from I don't know how to say it, a pretty prolific philosopher, Dave Chappelle. Everybody wants to give an opinion, and he had something that was pretty great to say. He says, you could shut the fuck up. Take that, take that, take that. So that was a pretty good post there. Next one. This is from, let's see, Natalie Jean Beisner. She posted this. This was, I don't know to give credit. Brian Stelter from CNN actually was the original poster of this. Charlie Kirk's social media accounts have gained millions of followers since his murder. Charlie Kirk's widow and many of his fans have predicted that Wednesday's assassination will make his voice even more powerful posthumously. I think we're seeing that in the last 7 days. Have you seen people shying away, or have you seen a wake up? I've seen a major wake up. Social media statistics indicate that they're right. Kirk's accounts across the internet have gained millions of followers in the 3 days since his death. So these stats are old and they've grown exponentially since then. But here's what the ones were 3 days post. Kirk's main Instagram account has had 3.5 million followers since the assassination. His podcast TikTok account has gained more than 1.5 million followers. His main Facebook page has added more than 2.3 million followers. The YouTube audience for his organization, Turning Point USA, has also grown with 3.6 million subscribers now, up from 3.3 million. On YouTube, Kirk's primary channel now has 4.5 million subscribers, up from 3.8 million before he was assassinated. Next one. Again, this is posted by the conservative twins. Matt Von Swoll was the poster on Twitter with this one. I've come to the horrifying realization that we are at a morality crossroads in the country where one side believes that murder for hate speech, in quotes, is morally good and canceling someone for celebrating murder is evil. And the other side believes life is sacred, speech must be free, and celebrating bloodshed is true evil. If we can't even agree that murder is wrong, we're not debating politics anymore. We're debating whether civilization itself survives it all. A society that flips good and evil like this cannot stand for long. And well said. I think that it should come off as no surprise that one side needs to clean their fucking act up. There's no simpler way to put it than they need to clean things up on their side. They've let the insanity take control of a party that, if you look back 60 years ago, think about the fact that John F. Kennedy would not be welcome in their party. That's how far they've gone off center. This next one, this is a friend of mine, Cody Hawk. This is a post that he made a couple days ago. The great Aaron Tippin said it best. You've got to stand for something or you'll fall for anything. There are some influential talking heads I've been telling people to avoid being political or speaking out about their beliefs so it doesn't cost them business or alienate half of their customer base. Newsflash, I don't think it's anywhere near 50-50 anymore. There are far more conservatives than you're led to believe. I'll pause real quick. I wholeheartedly believe him on this. If you actually think about who controls what's going into your head as far as the major news organizations, they hardcore lean left and they act like that's the popular opinion. And I think a big thing that was exposed in last week is that's simply not the case. It's just that a lot of us, we've been too quiet for too long. We waited for the Charlie Kirks to do all the talking for us, the Ben Shapiro's, the Matt Walsh, just go on and on. Trump, we waited on them to do all the talking and we stayed silent. Continue here. I used to agree with that. Now I think it's bullshit. Not everyone will like you, but everyone should trust you. No one should ever question your morals and values. Very well said. Truth be told, I'm fine not doing business with people I don't align with. As a Christ follower, I personally believe that if the decision to keep your mouth shut about what you feel is right and wrong is driven by the impact it might have on your bank account, that is the definition of worshiping money over God. There are 338 million adults in the US. Leaving yourself a prospect pool, if you say it's completely divided in half, 169 million. That's more than enough people for you to sell your shit to. Most of you can't handle 0.1% of that business, that number in your business. And actually, most people can't even handle a fraction of 0.1%. I will gravitate towards and even pay more to support a business owner that I know is in alignment with the things I believe in every day of the week. I assure you, more and more buyers are operating this week, especially when buying commodities. Wrestle with that. This was posted by Jamie Kennedy. Just so we're clear, this was posted on September 14th. It's been 4 days since the public execution of Charlie Kirk, and my feelings have not subsided. They have only gotten more intense. There's extreme sadness, the rage, the sick-gutted emptiness. Then the realization comes. The realization of what his death has exposed. Never in the history of my life has it been so easy to see who is good and who is evil. It's given me extreme clarity. There's no gray anymore. To all the people dancing on the corpse of a man who was publicly slaughtered in front of his family, for the whole world to see, just know that we see you vividly. And you are vile. Whoever raised you failed miserably. Hashtag we are Charlie Kirk. Hashtag rest in peace, Charlie. Got a few more for you. These are just sentiments I found just normal scrolling across the internet. Some of these I screenshot. Okay, so this is from Erica Kirk. In a world filled with chaos, doubt, and uncertainty, my husband's voice will remain, and it will ring out louder and more clearly than ever, and his wisdom will endure. So they're not backing down. And initially, when I saw some people canceling campus tours and stuff like that, I was like, that's not what Charlie would want. Charlie would want us to actually double down on it, because the youth, it is the future. It really is. And our campuses, we send our kids there, usually conservative in values, and watch the universities just wreck them. We need voices like Charlie Kirk. We need organizations like Turning Point to get to them. And if you look at what happened with the last election, it is clear that Donald Trump would not be president today if it wasn't for Charlie Kirk and Turning Point and what he did on campuses. Starting at the age of 18, it's hard to believe that 13 years went by of Turning Point. When asked, Charlie said that above all, he wished to be remembered for his faith. Far more than any political victory, Charlie wanted to see a spiritual revival among America's youth. He wanted a nation of happy, thriving families who love God and each other. Now he goes to his heavenly reward. And that was a statement from Turning Point. Another Charlie Kirk quote, just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. And this was one that Erica posted when she was like, what do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. She shares the gut-wrenching moment when her 3-year-old daughter asked, where's Daddy? Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus so he can afford your blueberry budget. This is from Nick Shirley on X. If you've ever been undecided politically, let today be the day you decide. Notice there are no riots. No stores will be looted. No buildings will be set to flames. Instead, there will be gatherings full of people in prayer and candles of remembrance. And I honestly say that at our church, it was overwhelmingly packed for all the services. And my church has, we're just adding this up, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 services throughout the weekend into Monday. And outside of Monday, which is always a light one, and even that one, he said that it was more than normal because we normally don't go on Monday. They were packed out, standing room only. And Turning Point actually came out and they said that since the assassination, they have been flooded in their offices with new campus charter requests after Charlie Kirk's assassination. Now, the number I had on my screen is 32,000. I heard today it's like closer to 45,000 people have reached out to do chapters around the U.S. for that. So, I mean, look at what the youth is doing. The youth is flat out telling us that they get it. They understand that we need to double down on the message. We need to save this country. We need to save people, get them back to Jesus. I said this on podcasts before. It's like you're put on this planet to do a faith walk. And that faith walk entails 2 assignments for you. The first one is to find Jesus. The second one is to lead others to Jesus. That's all life is about. Everything else is white noise. And we're going to get into this on future episodes. This was posted by, I think this was Chad Prather. The reason you feel Charlie's death so deeply is because grief doesn't measure itself by proximity. It measures itself by meaning. You didn't have to know him personally to feel the sting of his absence, because when a voice like his goes silent, something in the atmosphere shifts. The reason it feels heavier than so many other tragedies is because your spirit recognizes that this is not just about a man, it is about a battle. Scripture says eternity is written on our hearts, and when someone who carried truth with boldness is suddenly gone, eternity aches within us. It's like our souls know instinctively that the darkness celebrated, and that strikes us at the core. The reason you can't shake it is because psychologically, you don't only attach ourselves to people, we attach ourselves to symbols. Charlie became a symbol of conviction in a time of compromise, courage in a time of fear. And when a symbol is struck down, it rattles something primal and eternal inside of us. That's why even those who never met him feel it. There is a strange thread pulling at us, and it is not imagined. It is real. We are bound together by shared purpose, by shared longing for truth, by the Spirit of God himself, weaving us into a fabric that cannot be torn apart. This loss pulled at that fabric, and every one of us felt the tug. So if you wonder why this hits so hard, it's because your soul knows. This is bigger than news. This is bigger than politics. This is about eternity, about truth, and about the weight of a man whose life carried both. We haven't seen a martyr in the Christian world of this magnitude since Martin Luther King Jr. Charlie Kirk was taken from us at the young age of 31. The amount of life he lived in 31 years blows my mind. How giving he was to us, to the American people, to the youth, to his family, and to his friends. And the world will be a darker place without Charlie Kirk in it.